without much ado, this program starts immediately.
So the willingness to learn, the willingness to unlearn, and the willingness to relearn is what sets you apart from others. And I believe that the speakers here you'll be hearing from today, they have walked different paths. They have actually seen some of the things you're experiencing today, and some of the challenges some of you guys have faced, and they've emerged the valuable lesson from these challenges, and they are actually going to change your perspective if you let them. So most times, a lot of people believe that knowledge is enough. Let me tell you today, knowledge is not enough.
Please put your hands together as you bring forth a person of a new start of value at a lot of money at a point. And now, the same set of people are actually asking you for a ridiculous amount of money. I've seen people that at a point in my life, while growing up, I actually look up to them and be like, one day I want to be rich like this uncle, I want to be as good as this uncle. And now, that same set of people, I'm looking at them and I'll be like, what actually went wrong? One of the things that went wrong is wrong financial planning, which we are going to be looking at today. Wrong financial planning, right? Because one thing about life is that life is in stages and in what? In phases. You are at a point in your life now whereby most of your sources of income are from your parents. Not everybody, right? But most of you, yeah, most of your sources of income are from your parents. You will get to a point in your life whereby you take another job. Let's say you are doing first job or someone introduced you to a particular scheme or something, and you are making a lot of money from it. Because you are now making a lot of money, one of the mistakes that most of us make is that before moving into money, let's say my cost of living is around, let me say I'm spending 200,000 per month. But because my income grows from 200,000 to 500,000, immediately I also grow my expenses from just 200,000 per month and I grow to 550 per month. Trying to impress someone. Now, the problem is that, let me tell you this. We are talking to teens, yeah, mostly teens, and that's why I will be very realistic with you. Most of you are in lesson, you are coming to lesson trying to impress the girl beside you, trying to impress the boy beside you. Let me tell you, in another 3 years, in another 5 years, you will realize that the people you are spending money to impress will actually not be there when that sufferness or that thing actually what come. Right? That is why the major thing I tell people and I tell myself is that, am I impressing myself to myself so that in another year I'm going to be where I actually want to be? That is the major thing. Because I can tell you for a fact that the way life is actually moving, in the next 3 years, there are some people in your class, there are some people in your level that you are not going to see them again. Those same set of people are the ones you are actually spending to actually impress now. Then the question is, what exactly are you doing? Are you making the right decision? Most time the question is what?
Today is navigating successful tech career. Today I won't only leave you here with hope, I also give you practical steps to navigate a successful tech career. So before I go into the nitty-gritty of today's session, I'll just introduce myself. I'm a senior software engineer at Remote Native, a Germany-based company, and I have 5 years of experience in building scalable web applications. And previously, I worked at InterSwitch, one of the leading fintech company in Africa, meanwhile as a student. And so at InterSwitch, I contributed building secure and efficient financial solutions. And I'm also passionate about innovation, open source contributions, and mentoring aspiring developers. And lastly, I'm a football lover of Chelsea. You're wondering, why should I consider going into tech? There are lots of reasons, and I will give you some of the few reasons I have here to convince you why you should consider going into tech. Number one, tech is in high demand. Companies all around the world need skilled people to build software, manage systems, and analyze data. Literally, you being in tech means you are in high demand. So that is what enough reason to tell you why you should consider going into tech. Secondly, it's a career path with endless opportunities. You can work from anywhere all around the world. Imagine me being a Nigerian working for a company abroad. And thirdly, you don't need a university degree to start, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't go to the university. I'm actually a university graduate. So basically, even as a student, you can be working while still being a student, because I did the same thing. I literally started working right from my 200 level days, and I worked all through my days in school. I remember when I get admission into school, I set up this mindset for myself that I know my parents are the one paying for my school fees when I get admission into university. But I told my dad then that we pay for this, but going forward I'll start making the payments myself. I didn't really want paying it, and I eventually achieved the goal. So just to tell you the opportunities that comes to going into tech. And lastly, it allows you to solve problems. With tech skills, you can create solutions that help businesses, communities, and even the world. With tech, you can create a lot of solutions, even for yourself, and probably to automate stuff for yourself. So these are the few reasons why you should consider going into tech. So the next slide. So these are the steps to navigating a successful tech career. So these are the practical steps you should do if you want to go into. So number one is to develop the right mindset. The first thing you need to understand is that your background does not define your future. So thirdly, after you've chosen the field that interests you, then the next thing is be consistent and practice daily. This is where most people fail, because they lack consistency and they don't practice daily. Learning new skills is quite difficult and it's time consuming. Me standing before you today, I've spent a number of hours learning, sitting and cracking algorithm, doing different things just to learn this particular skill. And one thing I would advise is when you decided on going into tech, I would advise you practice daily. And there's this statement: whatever you live leaves you.
Because I've been in your shoe before. I was as young as you people many years back. And when they were mentioning mushy breed, I was looking at, okay, me, am I mushy breed? Yes, I'm actually, because when I now check where I grew up from, it's part of mushy. But it's as if that our own part is the, what's it called? Jasper part, or let me say the estate of mushy. Because when people mention mushy, in one rough area, this thing. But I grew up on the Bushemi Street. Go down is, they call it Itire Mushy. So that one is a big cool. So me too, I'm part of you. I'm also a mushy breed. So, but what did I want to share a story of a particular boy with you guys, and I want everybody to listen very well. This is a story of a boy that finished secondary school in the year 2005. Yeah, finished secondary school in the year 2005. And the boy now resorted to start doing menial jobs like selling pure water under the bridge, selling sweets, pasting posters here and there, gather money to register for WAEC, enroll for WAEC in the year 2008. 2009, the boy wrote JAMB. He got admission into school, that's at the State University, to study electrical electronics. But there are three in their family. And everything has gone bad in the family. The father doesn't have money again, the mother is suffering. They will move into an uncompleted building somewhere around Songwater where they were living. And the boy was just trying everything. So when the boy got admission in 2009, he felt bad for his sisters. And the boy was like, oh, let me defer this admission. Let me remain in Lagos. Let me work hard. Let me hustle. Then I'll go. So when my sisters are in school, so I will remain in Lagos, and the boy will be sending money or paying their school fees. So that boy forfeited that admission in 2009. 2010, he wrote another exam. He picked the University of Lagos, and the boy did not enter. That's how many years after secondary school? That's 5 years. Now 2011, the boy wrote another JAMB again. By then, he now secured admission to University of Lagos to study surveying and informatics engineering. Do you get it? The boy was very happy. By then, the sister was in Ekiti State University. What is it called? The younger sister also was in that institution. So the boy was paying his own tuition fee and was also paying the two sisters' tuition fee. Do you understand? Now, that boy move on with life. Remember, he's so high. The boy, when I heard the story, the boy pasted post around this pushing a lot. There was a time they have to collect pocket of start from the boy and they pour on that boy. Do you get it? And they were telling him to tear a lot of papers that he has pasted. But you know what? All these stories you are hearing, is that boy that is starting this before you. It's that boy that is standing before you. You understand? Okay, some of you were like, the way you were saying it, I knew it, based on my recklessness of 2 years, it cost me how many years? Almost 6 years. See what I'm doing. When I'm supposed to be done with NYSC, when I'm supposed to be making money for myself, do you get it? And you know what happened? 6 years. And I don't want your own story to be like that. And that's why I said, let us come down to our level. Let's tell ourselves the basic truth. You guys are lucky that you are writing JAMB now. You are lucky. And for many that are seated here, if you have your parents sending you to school, paying your lesson fee, this is a motivation for you to utilize your opportunity very well. At my tutorial center, they know every week, every day, we speak to their subconscious to make them to understand that there is no time. You just have to start early. Yes, some of us were able to retrace our steps. And God to the glory. We at times it takes us a bit, but I will just look at it and be like, okay, thank you. Because yes, we've done too many things. I was when the first people was talking about financial management and the investment banker, those people they know people anyway. And so as I was sitting there, I was also chatting with someone on putting up a property for sale. And this property, I bought it when I was 21 years old. How much? Less than 100,000 naira. A landed property many years back. But you know all those postal money I was getting, I was saving. I will sell your water small, I will save it. I'll do this one, I will save it. I run a tutorial center, a very big one. Carbon news. And he was once my tutor. He taught at my place, and I'm very proud of what he's doing. So what am I saying is this? You people seated here. Some of you are going to be so great that in the next 5, 6, 7 years, you will look at your life like this. I'll be like, is this you? But one thing that might derail you is if you don't put that discipline that many of them have been mentioning since. If you don't put that discipline, the opportunity you guys have now, the opportunity you guys are enjoying now, you have to put it into use. As many of us are preparing for WAEC or exam, you have to do everything humanly possible to make sure you pass and move to the next phase of life. Because one thing that we need to understand is that time waits for nobody. 6 years wasted at all. Yes, forget the fact that 2008 to 2011 I've been serious in my life then. But that 2 years that was truncated at first cost 6 years. 6 years. And some of you are seated here, you are also doing the same thing, which I want you to stop. And I don't want you to make the same mistake. So you have to search inward and ask yourself some critical questions and answer them. And put your life on a trajectory that you yourself will be proud of.
You are Team God. Let me see your hands up. The lessons that I have for you to do. The first one is what? So meaning that whether it is just book that you have, whether your book is done, or whether for some of you, whether you don't even have book, they give you the book of your elder ones. Am I the only one that they did that for you? They collect book. So they will collect their book and they will give you for you to use to read. Start with what? It's what you have. You need to know that your parents are trying. So all the there's one BC in school that she has new uniform. Leave all that one alone. Are you with me? Whatever that you have, you start with it. The second one is what? Start with where you are. So some of you will say, it's until I enter university before I start getting serious. Are you with me? Or you say, until I have, I don't know if how many are already saving here. So until I have 10,000 naira in saving, that's I want to start. No. But wherever you are, whether you are sleeping on the chair or you are sleeping on the floor, some of you are not paying your lesson money by yourself because you know it is hard. But you have to do it. So wherever you are, you what? Start with what? And you start with what? Awesome. The third thing, and it's very important, is comparison is the thief of joy. Are you with me? Let me explain what it means. My friend Abayo is on the high table. Bello, my very good guy. Emmanuel, my very good guy. The amazing speaker are just, only the lesson, carbon, fresh, putting all of these things together. Me, I can't do it. I don't have money like them. But I will not compare myself and say, because Abayo is richer than me. Do you understand my point? Everybody is on their own journey. They are the ones that know the problem that you are facing. They are the ones that know the kind of house that you come from. Are you with me?
Like you said, get talk to it. I could tweet through details on that so like you can see right and say what we do and want to do.
This was me last year at one of the biggest conferences in Africa. The lesson from this, finally, to sum everything up, is that everybody can make it. Everybody can aspire. And you will what? You will what? Thank you very much.
So I said when I was 10, I lost my mom. So that was the beginning of some of my academic struggles. Then later I lost my dad too. Now, listen, stop saying yeah. Thank you. Now, here is the thing. Listen attentively. Like I said, this session is capable of transforming you forever if you would listen. Now, more parents, first life challenge, then you are staying coupled with, you are now staying in motion again. So that one is, no parent is shaggy. Living in motion is now banza. So combined two is now what? You know what? I am glad that the amazing speakers sitting down here today, they are all products coming out from Mushin. Can we clap for Mushin? So, hear this. In the next 5 years, a lot of you guys probably will not be here again, probably not in Nigeria, probably anywhere else, would now be the one to inspire the coming generation. Right? How many of you believe that? You believe, right? So now let's look to the high table. Are those people sitting at the high table radical? What do you think happened to them? A shift, a transformation. Right? So tell your neighbor, transformation is possible. Transformation is possible. Now, like I was saying before the light went off, losing my parent and staying in motion was the strongest shege banza in my life. So when I said we have to exchange receipts to enter tutorial centers just to receive lectures, that was to show you the level of the passion for education at that point in time up till now. That drive. So when my mom died, something happened. I started failing academically. Because at that point in time, probably now my wife is the closest person to me. At that point in time when my mom died, my mom was the closest person to me or the most precious person to me in the world. But at the moment, my wife and my daughter are the most precious entities to me in the world right now. Do you know why I said that? Before the death, listen guys, I'm going somewhere. Before the death of my parents, I was the only child of my parents. So you know what it means when I said my child and my wife are the most precious gift to me now. I'm heading somewhere. Stay with me. So, BJ, when I now say that mindsets, there's a need for a shift in mindset. Now, before I go to the second session, then we'll round up. there's a particular story I would like to share with you. One of the most vulnerable stories of my life. You know, I mentioned about my dad and all. So my dad, I was very in good terms with my dad. Not until the death. Then I was like, I listened to a particular podcast. I don't even know Joyce Meyer. I listened to a particular podcast where I heard Joyce Meyer was raped by her dad many times. And I was like, if someone raped the daughter, my father did not rape me. The only thing my father did was that he treated my mom in the way I never liked. And that was what changed my mindset. I'm like, I will rape this man forever. Now, I intentionally mentioned about forgiveness because some of you, your transformation has come, but you are still harboring bitterness. And those bitterness will not allow you break out to be that person you have been destined and designed to be in life. So not until the time I had to forgive my dad, that was when a new dimension of me began to break out. By God's grace, I've worked with the British Council as a lead project manager and other organizations. That's to tell you that something, so there used to be a question, can anything good come out of a place? I can tell you for a fact that something good comes out of Mushin and will keep coming out from Mushin. But the first thing is what? Mind shift. I'll tell you there are two levels of consciousness of the mind. The conscious level and the subconscious level. So, I want you to do something. At this conscious state, I want you to pay attention to what your limitations are. I'm not there with me. I want you to pay attention to what your limitations are. Can you please bring out your pen and your book, write the three, like in economics, there's what we call scale of preference. Arranging on is in other words, their importance. So I want you to point out, I want you to write out the three limitations that you think are holding you down as you are currently. Can you write them down? No, I will not call you to read them. Write out those three limitations. Could be environmental limitation, could be, what you see at home, you are not just too impressed with what's going on at home and all. Once you are done, can you raise up your hand? I will not call you to read. Trust me, I just want to know how many of us have written that. Once you are done, can you raise up your hand? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So most of you don't have limitations. Write it down. Write it down. So like I said, there will be a kind of I really trust that before I leave here, those limitations become like something you work upon. But before then, it is impossible for you to have a mind shift without knowing yourself first. I repeat that. It is impossible for you to have a mind shift without knowing yourself first. So like I used to mention, the world is so noisy. By the time you get home again, probably you are living in face me, I slap you. They are fighting already. Tomorrow morning again, you are out. But you see these moments, in the next 10 minutes, I want you to just take a deep reflection. If you are playing, you are wrong at this point in time. If you are playing, you are wrong at this point in time. Do you know why I said you are wrong? You need a sane mind, even to pass your exam. You need a sane mind to excel in your career. You need a sane mind to cross those altitudes your parents never dreamt of. So this moment, I want you to be all by yourself. So what I want you to do is, I want you to close your eyes. I want you to close your eyes. Now, if you are sitting down to a friend that will distract you, please go away from that friend. First, for you to get something significant in life, there is need for a mind shift. So what I want you to do now is to begin to reflect. So the song says, let the fire burn just like before. What are those limitations that have held you down in the past? Is it environmental limitation? Is it what you see at home? What you see your parents do? Is it that your parents don't even have money to sponsor you? Like, where is the health help coming from? I want you to put those things in perspective. I want you to put those things in perspective. I have shared a part of my story. If anybody had told me that at this point in my life I will stand to inspire thousands of people, I would take the life, because my background did not support it. But now, this is more like a time for you to reflect and see beyond what your environment is saying. I want you to see through the eyes of possibilities. Then I strongly feel in my spirit, some of you are still harboring things, bitterness towards your parents. You are still harboring things, bitterness towards your parents because of what they've done to you. This is the moment for you to reconcile. This is the moment for you to reconcile. You know why? For you to have a sane mind to get ideas, you need to let go of your baggages, your emotional baggages. You need to let go of those things. Then you have a sane mind to get what the divine has destined you to be in life. I mentioned again, there are three of you here, you are having a strong bitterness towards your parents, especially your dad. Because what your dad has done to your family, your mom, and you are finding it hard to forgive your dad. This is the moment to reconcile those differences. Like I said, I am here to install a software. That software that makes you grow in life better. That makes you see things from a new level and perspective. I want you to reflect. If those limitations are not imminent, what are those things you'll be doing differently? Now, I want you to see something. For those of you that you are trying to write your UTME, I want you to imagine that you have a better result. Not just a better result. On your convocation, you are giving a speech, and your mom and dad are looking at you and they are inspired and impressed by what you are doing. It goes a long way. Imagine yourself coming back here, probably you are not in Nigeria, you have to fly in to inspire the next generation of people in Mushin. But first, it starts from the mindset. Mind shifts. So what I want to do now is that in the next 10 seconds, those of you that are harboring emotional baggages towards your parents, towards, there are some of you, the only problem you have now is unforgiveness. Once you see that person that has hurt you, there is this sensation you feel. It is high time you let those things go. The God you are looking for is no longer in heaven, is within you. And for you to be an innovator, first you need a sane mind. You need a sane mind. Now I want you to do something. Can you hold the hand of the person close to you? Thank you. You know what I want you to do? Can you begin to pray? We've heard a lot of things about how to become great in your career. You've heard a lot of things how to become financially free, to be financially free. But at this moment, I want you to do something dynamic. Can you begin to pray for your destiny? Either you are a Muslim, you are a Christian, can you begin to pray for your destiny? Everything first starts from the mind. Begin to pray over your destiny. That God, whatever I have not dreamt of because of my location, because of my environment, this point in time, I bet those things into reality. I want you to pray out. Bet those things into reality. Like I said, I'm not here to do much of the talking. I'm just here to install a new software to make you see a new reality, to make you see what is possible. We've heard all the speakers. They are all from Mushin, but now they are here to inspire you. What are you going to do to inspire your generation? What substance are you going to carry to inspire your generation? I challenge you today. First, let there be a reconciliation in your mind. Those people that you are hurting towards, can you please let go? Can you please forgive them? Can you please forgive them? Then let us now come to that reality of what is possible. You betting innovative idea. You betting innovative idea, but I want you to pray. Can you begin to pray? I want you to pray out loud. Some of you cannot remember the last time you have prayed. I don't know if you are a Muslim, if you are a Christian, I just want you to pray. My job here, my role here is to see anything what is possible. Pray mighty.
I already prayed for the mind of forgiveness, and I think I've let everything go.
I am going to conquer barriers. Nothing is going to hold me down. Not even the circumstances of my family. Not even what I see around me. Today, I walk in greatness. Now and forever. Amen. But if you now judge yourself based on your academic background or based on your environmental background, then there's an issue. Like I said, this place looks like home. Yes or no? That means I grew up from the Mission West community. In fact, all the speakers, the environments, they grew up with Mission community. But unlike quite a number of them that must have said they were the best in their class and all of those things, my story isn't like that. GS1, GS2, I attended Dre College. I don't know if you attended much for Dre College there. Yeah, GS1, GS2, GS3. I was the most very playful boy. In fact, in my report card, you hear things like, please, this boy is the most playful. He's intelligent, but too playful. That intelligent and not I was the best in my classroom. It was like intelligent and idiot. But he's what? Too playful. Now imagine having that year 1, sorry, I said year 1. GS1, GS2, GS3. SS1 same thing. SS2 same thing. Now my turning point came SS2. Now listen. Now this point I'm about to make, it's actually a huge turning point and it's a huge mindset shift. Guys were playful, but they were adding something that was different from what I was doing. They were playing, yes, they were studying. That was dynamic. That was where the time I met the likes of them, GD and maybe. How many of you here know GD? You must have heard. People see GD, you think he's a very unserious person. I think that's John Senior brother. People see him, you think he's a very unserious person. But technically, he was one of the people that I said I will go with. Then I realized that, oh, I know these people's trick. So I began to do it. I began to study. And I wrote my first jam. I didn't get in. I wanted medicine and surgery. I didn't get in. University of Ibadan. I tried my second jam. I wanted medicine and surgery. They like gave me fisheries. Then I said, instead of fisheries, oh, what's going on? Fisheries in Unilag is 5 years. So I'm going to go to Unilag for 5 years and study fish. I said, okay, I'm going to come back and write jam. Now, imagine, it took me how many years to do this? 3 years. What you guys just did this afternoon in terms of mindset, in terms of clarity, it took me how many years to get my clarity from? 3 years. Now, on my 3rd year for job, I was like, would I choose medicine again? Then I sat down, and this is my next point, which is very important in mindset. How many of us know that man over there? You don't know. How many of us here know Toyota Camry? You know Toyota Corolla, you know the Toyota Corolla. That man here is Sakochi Toyota. He was the one that founded the Toyota company. And he said to know the true root of the problem, or to know the true solution to a problem, you ask yourself the why question 5 times. You ask yourself the why question how many times? Before I go into practicals, the first thing started, then I sat down, I was like, Sam, you wrote down first time, medicine and surgery. You wrote down second time, medicine and surgery. Third time, you also want to choose medicine and surgery. Then the question came, why? The question why I wanted medicine and surgery was because I wanted to save lives. I was like, why do you want to save life? I want to help thousands and millions of people. True, as a doctor, you can do that, but it's very limited. A doctor can help a million people. A researcher can, but a medical doctor is very limited. Then it occurred to me, oh, okay, I want to help life. That's my major purpose. How do I achieve this? Then I looked at my biology textbook. Remember, don't forget, I'm very crazy. And I'm still very crazy. You should do what I'm doing. I'm still very crazy. Then I asked myself the question, how? How would I do it to save lives? Then I picked up my biology textbook, pro-life. Then I looked at my biology textbook. Then I realized the things I really enjoyed in biology were cell theory, genetics, evolution, microorganism, other simple parts of biology. I think other scholars that we have evolution. Thank you. Other simple parts of biology, were the parts I really even enjoy. Now, once it gets to topics like skeletal system, respiratory system, circulatory system, it's not as if I did not know it. At least if we do Japan again, I used to pass. It wasn't as if I didn't know it, but I didn't enjoy it. Then I decided and I looked and I was like, Sam, seems like the reason why you were doing medicine and surgery is because your daddy wanted you to do medicine and surgery. Then I just picked up that bold decision. Now, remember I told you the mindset shift, that the old sort of confusion that the former preacher explained took me how many years? 3 years to get to that point, which is what some of you got now. So then I said, oh, what are the courses that offer this? Cell biology, cell theory, genetics, evolution. Then I realized that University of Lagos offered cell biology and genetics. Then I did it. Then I said I'm going to do for it. Then the next problem is, what will my friends say? What will my family say? Because you're about to disgrace them. Seriously, in my family, either you're a doctor or you're not. I was the only child of my parents, so she wasn't the kind of person, no, should be. If you don't make it in life, you are gone. So now, for me to tell them that I'm not going to be a medical doctor, that I wanted to do cell biology and genetics. The first thing I came to the end was, what's that? I think I remember telling things about you, but my dad is my G. I'm not going to everything I know one can hide. You're looking at me one can hide. Now, this tells you, I've made 2 points now that you people don't know. The first point was check your cycle. I told you my turning point came when I met certain guys at Inspirational. That means my circle of influence shaped my mind. The cycle of people I had around me was what shaped my mind. Now the second point was knowing your interest, know what you want best, and go for it irrespective of what people say. Now, I told my dad, he's a pastor, you know, what you hear certain things from pastors, and it's just like I will pray about it. Just know that you disappointed them automatically. Once you tell your pastor that, sir, this is what I want to do, they will never tell you how to pray about it. They will say yes. But immediately I told him without pray about it, I don't know, he was disappointed. But he had no choice. He said, go for whatever it is you want. Then that's how I found myself on the path of cell biology and genetics. Now remember, all of this started because I knew my what, my why. Why did I want to do this? Why did I want to go to school? Why did I want to achieve what I want? Why did I want an education? And now we are going to do a practical. Which follows what Sakachi told that do. This is where you know your real interest for what you are pursuing. Is it because people said that's why, or because it's something you deeply want? Now why? How do you learn it? You're not getting deep into that. Now, she wants to become something, but there's no tangible reason. Why? So first, I started with a 219 CGPA, 219 JAM score, so 5.0 CGPA. That tells you it's not really about how you started. As long as you're ready to do the work and do it, you'll get it.